Hello, I'm Joachim Duplessis. Welcome to the HTS Epoll. It's your opportunity to weigh in on the most pressing issues of the day. There was more commotion in the House of Assembly during the last sitting on Tuesday, 13 February, with the leader of the opposition, Alan Chasney, demanding that he and not Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre be allowed to speak on the motion to borrow some $40 million. Prime Minister Pierre, who had been given the floor by the Speaker of the House, Jeremiah Norbert, said in the interest of democracy, he would yield to allow the opposition leader the opportunity to speak on the motion. Mr. Chasney protested that this was all in an effort to silence him on a very important matter. However, Mr. Chasney did not take up the offer to speak and instead walked out of the House. Some have argued that this sort of commotion makes the proceedings of the House of Assembly more interesting, while others say it is tarnishing its image. So we ask, do you think incidents like Thursday's are tarnishing the image of the House of Assembly? We took to the streets to get your opinion, and here's what you had to say.
Do you think that this is tarnishing the image of the House of Assembly?
Yes, it is. Very much so. For our leader of our opposition behaving that way, in such manner, it's inappropriate in the House of Assembly. The House of Assembly ought to have respect. You have somebody who is sitting in the House asking you to sit down, and here you are saying you're not doing that. What are you portraying to us as a nation? We have people looking at us worldwide, and honestly, I am very disappointed in the opposition leader, and he has done that many times, countless times, and he is just not adhering to the protocols and laws of the House. We have little children, we have school children coming to the House, sitting down in the House, listening to these leaders, and what are they portraying? Nothing good. I'm very disappointed. I am disappointed, and I think that he needs to step down as the leader of the opposition and allow somebody else to take over. This is not acceptable, period.
It seems as if democracy is threatened here, and so to be able to speak freely, as is the right of the opposition leader, I didn't expect it to end up the way that it did. But unfortunately, we have now adopted an attitude where it seems as if it's division we are pushing. And unfortunately, if that is happening at the House, then it filters down to society. And this is probably why we're witnessing or experiencing the kind of behavior that we now have, unfortunately, leading many young men and women to the grave.
Okay, and do you think that is tarnishing the image of the House?
Absolutely. There's no question about that, because the House is supposed to be fair, and the voice of the elected members must be heard. So it cannot be a situation where some people ignore, the attention of others, and they can see others' lights and stuff like that, as I heard on the news report. It's something that should be equitable. I know that the opposition leader and then the Prime Minister, they probably do not necessarily have the equal amount of time. And I recognize that, but you ought to give the opposition leader and any elected member the necessary time to respond to a debate. And so if we live in a democracy, it's unfortunate that we're experiencing what we're experiencing now in St. Lucia's House of Assembly. It's a shame.
Oui, Chasney voulait gâter le pays.
Just continue, Charlie.
Après, il voulait gâter double le pays. Chasney n'est pas bon. Chasney monte pour 10% dans le pays. C'est ça mon voulait faire Chasney. Et qui Philippe J. Pierre a fait travailler.
Est-ce que c'est ça qui fait là qu'a croisé image Kaila?
C'est oui, il a croisé, c'est ça Chasney qui voulait faire. Il voulait pousser le contrôle. Il passe à contrôle encore. Tant il a passé. Chasney pour juste voir aller. Il pas moun.
Après il croisé, il a détruit. Et qui a croisé la whole population, whole cette ici, whole l'autre pays, whole tout partout.
Ou quoi ça qui fait à Kaila? Est-ce que vous supportez ces bails ça?
Je supporte, je jamais supporté. Et quand on homme pour bail, il était Prime Minister avant, quand il venait opposition, il pas voulu écouter ça il a dit. Because he allait wrong, si il allait right. Il était caille, jouer un bon bail pour lui, mais wrong il allait, il toujours caille wrong.
I think this is happening a little too often in such an august chamber. I mean, this is the highest office of the land, and we need to see people who are representative of the population carry themselves in a much better manner. After all, this is the House of Parliament. We expect persons to model behaviors that are in keeping to the values of Christianity, the values of St. Lucian generally, and just good moral, prudent practices.
These guys need to stop that. These guys need to realize that they are representing the country and they are representing the citizens of the country. So that is not behavior that is becoming of the House of Parliament. These guys really need to stop that and set an example for the future leaders that are coming. These guys are indisciplined and need to stop.
It is not good at all. It is not. Because you cannot tell me you have children watching. I mean, what example are you setting? No, it's not good. It's not good. Regardless of who you are, it is not good. They need to change that.
As parliamentarians, I expect a lot better from them because they are the ones representing the country, and this goes worldwide, and we have a lot of our youth watching the program, and these behaviors are highly unacceptable because they should be the ones setting the example and leading the way for the youth, and displaying this manner, it's not a good thing at all.
Thanks for those responses. Now to our new discussion. The findings of the latest Ministry of Health's Epidemiology Unit report indicate that non-communicable diseases such as cancers, chronic respiratory diseases, diabetes, and hypertension cause more than 80% of the deaths in St. Lucia. Disturbingly, the most recent findings suggest that cases of high blood pressure, diabetes, and obesity have increased significantly over the previous 5 years. Non-communicable diseases are largely the result of unhealthy lifestyles, poor diet, smoking, lack of physical activity, and alcohol consumption. So we ask, is it time to take more drastic steps to turn the tide of unhealthy lifestyles in St. Lucia? Voting is easy. Just log on to htsstlucia.org and vote. Remember, our Epoll teams are always on the go to get your responses as well. Watch the HTS News Force from 7 p.m. for the results and a new discussion.